2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chumley. Happy birthday to you. Make a wish, Chum.
Hey, it's time for the recap at the end of a fairly busy week. Now, we'll start off over the weekend, and what happened was that our friend up in the Bronx, Yvonne, caught a look at my approach to coronavirus masks, and what she did was to send in her proposal for the female version of my mask. Here's Yvonne.
Hello, Weekly Recap. I saw your COVID-19 male version of a mask, and I saw how you utilize it and explain how it must be a fresh and clean set of underwear. Well, we have the feminine version for ladies. Special. The G-string Ulti-Max face mask for women. Just take it, flip it over your head, and you are set for the female version of a face mask.
Now you probably noticed in that video there was a title that said GMA's G-string. GMA is what Yvonne's grandson in Colorado calls her, so that's that. Okay, so over the weekend we got that, and then on Monday I decided it was time to put some fertilizer on the lawn. Now, my objective is to have the absolute greenest lawn in the neighborhood, and the guy next door to me over here, he was looking pretty good. So I went out and I did it. As you know, I love this Milorganite fertilizer. It comes from Milwaukee. Sometimes it's hard to get. I did the lawn, and I'd have to say, I'm sorry that they make the wheels on these spreaders so narrow, because the St. Augustine grass that you get here is kind of thick, so it's a little, requires some exertion to put fertilizer on the lawn. I took care of Monday, a fairly busy day. And then on Tuesday, I decided I needed to get out of the house, so I drove down to the Vero Beach Marina. Absolutely nothing going on. Went over to Riverside Park, and not very much happening there. But I did fly the drone a little bit. You know, the new with the new mainframe that I got from DJI, and. Also, while I was there, I decided I would answer a question that Billy sent in last week, asking whether there's going to be baseball this year. So I sat at a park bench, and I gave him the best answer I could give. I had a question from Billy this week, and it's whether there'll be baseball this year. Obviously, nobody really knows. I'll give you a few thoughts on it, and take them for what they're worth. Number one, it's all about money, and it's money for the players, money for the owners. Now, the owners are paying the players right now. In fact, what they did was they committed $170 million to a fund, and both minor league and major league baseball players are getting paid on a daily basis, and it's scaled. I think the top end of the scale is something like $4,700. But having said that, you know, the owners are greedy. They want ticket sales, they want beer sales, they want parking sales, as well as the TV money. And the players want their share. Here's what I think you look for. If we get to the All-Star break, or around the All-Star break, so you got roughly a half a season left, and if your major market teams are getting back to more or less normal operations, more or less, then what they'll do is they'll put together a complete half season, and it'll be goofy, but I mean, it's something that they can deal with, and they'll have the normal postseason, which is where they really look for their big dollars. Now, if you get past the All-Star break, let's say you get to the beginning of August and there's no end in sight, at least as far as the major market teams go, then I think what they'll do is they'll create a complete postseason tournament involving all the teams and probably involving some combination of the current Arizona plan, Texas plan, California plan, where they're playing in those climates and with small crowds, if any, but it'll be a major TV event. So that's my view. You get a half a season one way with a normal postseason. The other way, you get no regular season, and you get a much expanded postseason tournament, wrapping up probably at around the end of November. So, Billy, if that answers your question, and quite frankly, my guess is absolutely as good as yours or anybody else's. So, as you can tell, this was a pretty busy week. And I'm expecting next week to be just as busy as this week, but we'll have complete coverage of everything right here on the weekly recap. So show up. I put a couple of videos up during the week, and I've got links to them at the end of this. Check them out. Okay, have a nice weekend. Have a good week coming up.